National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng met with the U.S. Trade Representative. Real estate markets development in central city of Danang. Hello, you're with me, Ling Hương, and it's good to see you again for another episode of Beachline brought to you by VTV International. As usual, we'll start our show with several highlights in the economic scene for the past week. National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng paid an official visit to the United States from August 31st to September 9th. As part of his trip, National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng met with Trade Representative Michael Froman on September 8th. At his talks with Trade Representative Michael Froman, Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng proposed that Vietnam and the United States and other partners wrap up negotiations on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He said that economic integration is a key agenda in Vietnam's development and has the full support of the Vietnamese legislature. Froman added that Vietnam's trade, investment and living standards could be improved by the possible TPP agreement. A conference held in Hanoi to discuss public sector management in Asia was hosted by the Policy Center of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or the OECD. Experts suggested that the simplification of the legal process and involvement of the public were key to effectively renovating the public sector. South Korean experts also shared their nation's experience of managing $12 billion of ODA received from other countries in the 1990s. The event was a great opportunity for Asian economies to meet and exchange insights into public sector renovation. A ceremony was held on Wednesday to inaugurate the Nghi Sơn Steel Port Complex at the Nghi Sơn Economic Zone, Thanh Hóa Province. Attending the event, Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải recognized this as an important contribution not only to the Nghi Sơn Economic Zone but also to the socio-economic development of Vietnam's north-central region. The 71-hectare complex includes 9 ports with a total reception capacity of 30 million tons of shipments per year. The port can receive ships of up to 50,000 tons. The project cost nearly $267 million, constructed under the Nghi Sơn Steel Joint Development Project. Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism Hoàng Tuấn Anh witnessed the signing of a tourism cooperation plan between Vietnam and the ACMES member countries on Wednesday in Ho Chi Minh City. Ayayawadi Chao Praha Mekong Economic Cooperation Strategy is a political, economic and cultural organization among Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia and Myanmar. The agreement aims to create better links in the regional tourism sector, provide a basis for mutual recognition of tourism qualifications, and raise the standards of services. The member countries have pledged to come up with favorable conditions to connect tours and travel routes within the ACMES region. This would also benefit future plans to integrate within the ASEAN Economic Community. The 19th International Exhibition on Food, Processing and Packaging Technology, or VietFood and ProPack 2015, opened in Ho Chi Minh City on Wednesday. About 350 companies are displaying their products at the exhibition, which runs until September 12th. In addition to domestic producers, a number of food and beverage companies from South Korea, Poland, India and Thailand are presenting their top products. A beverage festival is also being held where visitors can sample free drinks. A conference to review the 4-year implementation of the law on commercial arbitration was organized in Hanoi by the Ministry of Justice on Wednesday. The event has pointed out that the number of commercial disputes settled by arbitration accounted for only 1% of total commercial disputes. Experts believe that the main reason is a lack of awareness and trust in the Vietnamese arbitration system. A representative from the Vietnam International Arbitration Center, or the VIAC, the biggest arbitration center in Vietnam, said that the court plays a vital role in improving the efficiency of arbitration in the current context. Arbitration is viewed as a solution to the backlog of court cases in an overloaded court system. Currently, there are 12 arbitration centers and 350 arbitrators in Vietnam. The Civil Aviation Administration of Vietnam has asked domestic carriers, including Vietnam Airlines, Vietjet Air and Jetstar Pacific, to lower fares after recent oil price drops. According to the Civil Aviation Administration, over the past days, the price of Jet A1 fuel is on a downward trend. The carriers have been urged to pass on this saving to passengers. Since the beginning of this year, petrol prices have tumbled on 7 occasions following decreasing global oil prices. We have just reviewed several economic highlights from the past week. Up next, we'll talk about Da Nang City's development of real estate market in our crosstalk. Boasting a long beachfront unparalleled in Vietnam, Da Nang City has been Vietnam's premier seaside and fastest growing tourism destination. With strategic location, Da Nang City has also emerged to be the economic hub of Vietnam's Central Coast. In this week's edition of Crosstalk, we'll take a look at the development of Da Nang City's real estate market with Ms. Duong Thuy Dung, Head of Research and Consultancy at CBRE Vietnam. Thank you very much for being here with us in our show today.
Thank you very much.
Before we begin, let's take a look at the following. Real estate accounted for around 54% of total new capital in Da Nang in 2014, a slight decline of 0.7% year-on-year. New streets have been established in central Da Nang, including Fashion Street, Lê Duan, Food Street, Pham Hong Thai, Tourist Street, Bach Dang, Souvenirs and GiftsStreet, Bach Dang Nhu Nguyet. Transportation infrastructure have also been developed, such as the Hue T Junction Flyover, which was opened on a trial basis in March, the Danang Quang Ngai Highway to be opened to traffic in 2016, and Phase 2 of Danang Port, estimated to be completed by 2018. The city is building a high-tech park within a 25-kilometer radius to Danang International Airport, seaport, and the city center. Significant developments have been recorded in retail, office, and tourism real estate markets for recent years. Vietnam real estate market has seen several signs of recovery since the end of 2013, and last year the transaction number increased while the inventory declined. How about the real estate market in Da Nang City?
We have seen positive market sentiments not only in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, but also in Da Nang. Positive indicators have been obviously shown in the new launches as well as the number of successful transactions. Let's look at the condominium market in the last 1.5 years. The number of new launches have been increased by about 20%, and in terms of the number of successful transactions, in the second half of 2015, we have seen the successful transaction almost triple the same number as the number of the same period of last year. Not only in the condominium market, but also in the hospitality market, we have seen a very positive indicators in terms of number of international arrivals as well as local arrivals. That supported very high occupancy rate in some selected hotels and resorts, such as Intercontinental Hotel and Resort. They reported a very high occupancy rate from 80% to 90%.
So obviously there have been some positive signs in Da Nang's real estate market. Which segment has been the highlight in this real estate market?
As you mentioned earlier, Da Nang has some of the nicest beach in Vietnam, and among a lot of coastal cities in Vietnam like Phu Quoc, Nha Trang, or Ha Long, Da Nang is still the hottest destination not only for local but also for international investors. Having such advantages, of course, hospitality market, including vacation home market, is the key segment that support for the rapid growth for Da Nang hospitality market.
Now tell us more about some significant development in terms of hotels and resorts in Da Nang City.
Even during the crisis, during the last 2 and 3 years, Da Nang have welcomed a number of hotel and resort operators to the city. Some of them are very famous. One belongs to the Intercontinental Group, Hyatt Group, or Accor Group. Some are not only the international, but also the regional operators, such as the Fusion Maya of the Serenity Holding Group. Even during the crisis, we still see a successful transaction of villa that has value more than $1 million. Of course, we also observe some shift in terms of buyer preferences. Instead of launching a villa for sales from $1 million to $2 million per villa, developers, i.e. sellers, they are now target middle-end segment from $250,000 to about $700,000 per villa.
What is your assessment of the supply and demand of hospitality property market in Danang City?
We do not see many supply coming into the market in the last 1.5 years, especially in the last 3 years because of the economic downturn. Developers, they really hesitate to start new development. Meanwhile, the number of arrivals to the province has on a steady growth, 2.2 million just in the first half of 2015, and that supported a very high occupancy rate at some most new and old developments. That said, that we do not see any oversupply yet in this market.
Winning a prize for the best leisure development in Vietnam at the International Property Awards, Hyatt Regency Danang is beachfront 5-star resort and luxury residential complex. It offers a great opportunity for those looking to invest or live in the central region. The Hyatt Regency Resort has been developed by Indochina Capital.
When we first came to Danang in 1992, there was nothing on the beach other than the Nan Nuoc. So we started with the Furama Hotel, opened in 97. Second thing we did was Indochina Riverside Towers. We built the golf course, and then we built Hyatt. So in sum, over a 12-year period, plus or minus, we invested over $300 million in Danang and created a handful of truly iconic properties, that have really put Danang on the map as it relates to tourism.
According to Ryder, there was skepticism about his firm's plans to build such large-scale projects. For example, the Hyatt includes almost 200 condos and 27 villas priced at $2,500 per square meter. The project has been completed and put into operation and recently sold to the Hong Kong-based Go Capital Partners. There are currently over 20 resorts in Danang. This has created a more competitive environment for early arrivals such as the Furama. Besides reinforcing its branding and services, the resort is building 130 villas and developing a new approach to its services.
Cái biệt thự này chúng tôi bán cho người mua biệt thự. Người mua có thể mua xong giao lại cho Furama khai thác, hoặc là người ta ở và chúng tôi phục vụ. Thì một cái loại hình tam xe như vậy cũng chính Furama cũng nêu ra một cái loại hình mới ở tại khu vực miền Trung, mà sau đó Nam Hải hay là một số các cái resort khác cũng bắt đầu thực hiện cái này và cũng khá là thành công.
Investment firm Vina Capital has also been active in Danang since around 2007. Covering an area of 260 hectares, its Danang Beach Resort features 400 villas. Till now, 200 villas have been completed, 80% of which have been sold. Each beachfront villa can sell for up to $2 million.
Danang's developed so much in the last 5 years, 7 years, that's very much different now. So we were able to acquire land at a reasonable price that enabled us to sell a product that wasn't too expensive. If we went there today and tried to buy the same land and do the same development, your sales prices would be significantly more, because usually the biggest cost for development is the land.
However, as Danang is well on its way towards becoming a tourism and economic hub, promising more tourists, expats and high-income earners, developers are still optimistic about investing in the city.
I like to say Danang is sort of the center of the universe. All right, what universe? Okay, East Asia. All right, Everybody knows Da Nang is right in the middle of Vietnam. I mean, Vietnam is square smack in the middle of East Asia. Two, so you've got a great deep water port, amazing beaches, mountains, all the kinds of things that attract both business as well as tourism. Finally, the people and the government have long been very welcoming to foreign investment in particular.
Now let's move on to the office property market in Da Nang City. Da Nang is now striving to become a services and IT city. How has the property in the offices managed to lay the foundation for this development?
Da Nang really haven't got any Grade A or Grade B building. Most of the existing office building in Da Nang belongs to Grade C building with more or less floor area. Most of the demand source for Da Nang coming from IT and software industry, who require for a very large floor plan, at least 500 square meter. For this requirement, there is only few office building in Da Nang that can meet the demand. Looking forward to the next 2 or 3 years into the future supply, there is also no Grade A or B buildings that are going to be constructed in Da Nang. That will make the office supply in Da Nang become even more limited.
Why is there still a limited number of Grade A and Grade B office buildings in Da Nang City, and what have been the discouragement for investors to invest in building more office buildings in the city?
I believe that apart from the demand coming from IT and software industry, as a demand catalyst in Da Nang is not yet enough to support for a new development of Grade A and Grade B building. Most of the investors, they are looking at the rate on return, and obviously the rate on return for their investment in the condominium and in the hospitality market is much higher than for the commercial properties such as the office and retail market. The demand for office, especially for the high quality office buildings such as Grade A and Grade B, are coming a lot from the FDI sector. But in Da Nang, around half of the FDI source, they are just poured into the hotel and resort. And as such, they do not require an office space in the city. Most of the demand for hotel and resort, they will be right located in the hotel and resort side. For that office development, I think the developer will need a lot of support from the government in terms of land clearance, in terms of land compensation, and in terms also of investment supporting.
The main sources of demand in Da Nang's office market still come from software technology, construction, and tourism industries. The average office space in the cities is around 100 to 150 square meters, except for software and IT companies, which often require 500 to 1,000 square meters. Da Nang currently has 25 office properties, 17 of which are C grade, 7 B grade, and 1 A grade. The average asking rent in the first quarter of 2015 remained unchanged at $10.39 per square meter, a decrease of 4.5% on year. This figure is expected to remain stable until the new projects come online. The average vacancy rate decreased slightly in the first quarter, presenting a 6.9 percentage point on-year decrease. This is expected to decrease slowly until new projects appear. Expansion and new entrants are anticipated to drive the office market this year. Let's move on to the retail property segment. What have been the highlights of this segment in Da Nang City?
Same as the office market, the retail market in Da Nang is really underdeveloped compared to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. There are only 7 retail centers in Da Nang, but many of them are just supermarkets. There is almost no decent shopping center in Da Nang. Vincom shopping center in Da Nang, the first high quality shopping center in Da Nang. However, that center only has 30,000 square meters of GFA, gross floor area, which is still very small compared to other shopping centers in Vietnam. For your reference, the biggest shopping center in Ho Chi Minh City has a GFA of 140,000 square meters, and the biggest one in Hanoi is also 170,000 square meters. You see that compared to other cities, Da Nang has a very small retail market.
Vietnam has recently allowed enterprises with 100% foreign capital to operate in a lot of sectors, including retail. How is this new policy going to impact Da Nang City's retail property segment?
There is almost no foreign retailer coming to Da Nang apart from Big C and apart from Praksan. You know, the living standard in Da Nang is much lower than in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. However, there is yet any like a mid-end shopping center like the Aeon Mall in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City coming to Da Nang, and that is one of the very significant lack that Da Nang is waiting for. We do hope that from January of this year, when according to the WTO commitment, the fully owned foreign retailers are permitted to enter Vietnam, that will encourage more foreign retailers coming to Da Nang. On one hand, we also hope that other like mid-end retail operators such as Aeon Mall will be encouraged to come to Da Nang. But on the other hand, that will give more like challenges for the local retailers. The local retailers are now still hesitant to enter Da Nang. Just because they haven't seen enough like consumption in Da Nang. Right now, even with the like bigger competitors from the foreign retailers, we are afraid that the local retailers will be even more hesitating to come to Da Nang. I think at least 10 shopping centers going to open in Da Nang. That is part of the complex building, but also some standalone shopping center. However, all of these future supply are still like development size. They are either like on paper or haven't been clear 100% for the site. So we think that in the long run, there will be a huge influx of shopping centers. However, in the short run, we think that Da Nang still have to face with the limit in supply.
Opened in late 2007, Big C Da Nang is the pioneer in terms of modern retail models in the city. As a supermarket and commercial center, Big C offers a wide selection of products and serves over 3 million customers a year. 6 shopping centers and 1 retail podium currently operate in the city. Total retail stock accounted for approximately 136,000 square meters and stable on year due to the entrance of Parkson Plaza and Vincom Center in the first quarter. The average asking rent for shopping centers remained unchanged at $20.3 per square meter per month, an increase of 4.6% on year. Vacancy rate at most other shopping centers went up markedly this quarter. Da Nang's total retail sales reached approximately $810 million in the first quarter this year, down 0.84% on year. Could you tell us more about the merger and acquisition activities in Da Nang City for the past 2 years?
Unlike from Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, where investors are very focused on the condominium market, our commercial properties such as the office and retail in Da Nang, most of the M&A activities are focused on hospitality market, especially in hotel transactions. We have learned that some high-end and luxury hotel and resort in Da Nang has been searched by international investors for a long time. The ones that owned by Indochina capital, such as the Nam Hai Resort or Hyatt Regency, has been around the M&A market for about like 2 and 3 years. We just learned that in April, the 5-star hotel owned by Hoàng Anh Gia Lai Group was sold to a company run by Australian Vietnamese earlier this year. The Hyatt Regency is sold to an investment firm from Hong Kong Gold Capital, and we believe that is going to be a trend in the next 1 and 2 years.
When it comes to M&A or any kind of transactions in real estate market, what is your comment on Da Nang City's administrative procedure?
Da Nang has a very supportive government. That's why Da Nang has been able to attract a lot of FDI, not only in the hospitality market, but also in other markets. But again, I think Da Nang government still have to do a lot to support the investor in terms of paperwork and land clearance. Another key thing is that Da Nang government has realized that one of the demand catalysts will come from the IT and software industry. That's why they offer a lot of support for the IT and software sector. We learned recently that the Da Nang government really welcome the open of FPT University in the city. And we believe that follow suit the introduction of FPT University in Da Nang, there will be more and more IT and software learning center, as well as the manufacturing and processing factory is going to open in Da Nang. And not only the foreign one, but also the local ones.
Vietnam has recently relaxed its rules on foreign ownership of property. How will this new policy affect the attractiveness of Da Nang City's real estate market?
This amended law only apply for residential market, but residential market include both condominium, but also include villa for sales. In the previous years, there are some foreign buyers investing into the vacation for sale villas in Da Nang. So we hope that together with the increase in the number of international arrivals to Da Nang, there will be more and more foreign buyers eyeing Da Nang as a very attractive investment market.
In conclusion, what are CBRE's forecasts for the development of Da Nang City's real estate market?
In the short run, from now until the end of 2015, we think that Da Nang market is still on its upward trend for the number of new launches and number of transactions, even though the level of increase wouldn't be as significant as in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City. In terms of pricing, we think that the price will not be increasing a lot. Instead, it will be very stable. In the long run, we think that Da Nang will see a significant increase in new supply because now a lot of foreign investors already eyeing to develop to start its development in Da Nang, especially the development along the coastal line. They are now working on paperwork, so let's hope that in the next 2 years, construction will actually start.
Well, once again, thank you very much for spending your time with us in our show today.
Thank you very much.
Dynamic business climate, critical infrastructural advancements, and the rising number of international quality resorts, all of these compelling factors have combined to make Da Nang City's real estate market an increasingly attractive destination for not just investment opportunities, but also for tourism. And we hope that our crosstalk just provided you with some useful insights into the development of the property market in the central coastal city. And that just wrapped up this edition of Beastline. Thank you very much for being with us. To rewatch our show, please log on to vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go. From our team here in Hanoi, until next time.